today, like we are going to discuss about the requirement analysis, or in an agile language, we can say like we are going to analyze a user story. So because like here the requirements are split up into multiple user story, and each and every user story, so the business analyst will mention each and everything. So like they will be having the elaborative description like what we need to develop, and post that like we need to understand the requirement, and then like we need to derive the all possible scenarios. So in order to derive all possible scenarios, so initially like we need to understand the requirement. Okay, so generally, right, so whenever the sprint starts, so the developer is going to pick some certain user story, and they will be analyzing in the development standpoint. And if you have a multiple user stories, so let's say like in the sprint, like you have picked a total of an 7 user story, then as a team, so like you will be splitting up the user story among yourself. And once the user story is confirmed, so like for example, if they have allocated the certain user story to you, so then you need to analyze the user story. So the first thing is like we need to do the analysis. So why we are doing the analysis? So one and only, if we analyze the user story, we can derive all possible scenarios, so which is nothing but we can derive the test cases. Okay, so now let me just pick one of the sample user story. So like either the user story can be in the descriptive way, or in the upcoming session, as I told, like nowadays like they are using the BDD, and even the requirement are in the form of an BDD. So here we are having three things. So like they are going to explain about the background of the existing application, and there is some problem in the application, and for the specific problem, so the business analyst has prepared some solution. So which means like the developer is going to implement this solution proposed, and once they implement the solution proposed, so we are going to test the same. So in order to test the same, like we will be doing the test design, which is nothing but we are going to derive all possible scenarios. Okay, so let me just go through line by line. So let's understand the background of an application. So like we have an reporting application, and that can generate all type of report. Okay, so the customer is having some existing application, and it is kind of an reporting application, and with the help of it they can generate all type of report. And they have specified, so we are able to create a report and share it with the user within an organization for the employee consumption. And the report once generated, the user has option to click on the share button, and once the user click on the share button, so the user navigate to the page with the grid listing all employees first name and last name with checkbox option to select the user for sharing the report. Okay, so what they're trying to do, so like let me just open the paint and let us create some draft. So there is some existing application. Okay, so basically they are going to generate the report, and once they generate the report, so they are having something called as a share button, and once they click on the share button, it is navigating to certain page with grid listing all employees first name and last name. So they are telling it is navigating to some page. So in this page it is kind of a grid list. So grid list in the sense, so like whoever is working in the respective organization, so their first name and as well as like their last names are getting displayed, and close to their name, so they have mentioned that like there is a checkbox. So we can specify, so there is some associated checkboxes present, and they have told, so like whenever we need to share to someone, so we need to select the checkbox. Okay, so if I need to share to myself, so my name will be appearing, so I can select my name. So if I need to share to the other employees, so like with the help of the name we can identify the certain person, and we can just tick the checkbox and we can share the report. And if you need to share to the specific people, so they have mentioned, so the grid also have features like searching the name of the employee, as well as sorting on the name, as well as we are having some pagination to navigate between the multiple pages. And they have mentioned one condition, so the grid only allows displaying 10 record per page. Okay, and then it has specified the record list does not display the self user who is accessing the report. So for example, if I'm going to share the report, so my name should not appear here. And apart from that, like it should appear other names. So per page, like we should have only 10 result. So that is what they have mentioned. So as per the requirement, as per the existing application, so the condition is like we are having some search bots, and with the help of the search bots we can search by the required name, or else like we are having some option to sort the name. So either we can sort by A to Z or Z to A, so likewise we can sort the result. And as we are having only 10 result per page, so they have mentioned like we are having the pagination as well, so they will be having the page number, so we can navigate to the required page. Okay, so based upon the number of employees, so like we may have the multiple pages. So this is how like the existing application look like. And let's understand the problem. So here the problem they have specified. So some of our customer having a large database of an employee are struggling to share some quarterly report which should be shared to all employees of an organization. Okay, so for example they have mentioned like assume that like there are 1,000 employee and they need to share the report to the 1,000 employee. Then how they can share to the 1,000 employee in the sense by manually selecting the checkboxes. So if we have the 1,000 employees, then we may have a 100 different pages. Okay, so the problem here is like, so here per page like we will be having only 10 result. So in an organization, if you have 1,000 employee, so if they need to share to the 1,000 employee, they need to manually select each and every one by traversing to the 100 page. So that is the practical difficulty that they are struggling up. So in order to share the quarterly report, so they need to share to all the employees. But if they need to share to all the employees, so then they need to navigate to the multiple pages. So this is the problem which is available in the existing application. And in order to rectify the problem, so the business analyst has come up with a solution, and the developer is going to implement this solution. So what is the solution they are going to use? So we are now have select all checkbox option replaced with the button called as an select all, and having an icon displaying of an empty checkbox beside the test. Okay, and once the user click on the button, a small pop-up window will be opening with the two checkboxes available for the user. So one is like on this page and across all the page. So what they have told, so like whenever the user navigate to the certain page, so here they are going to introduce a button called as an select all. Okay, so they are going to introduce the button called as an select all. And if the user click on the select all button, so there will be two options. So one is like on this page and another is like across all the page. Okay, so we are having on this page and then across all the page. Okay, so then what is the first scenario like we will be deriving to test this particular implementation in the sense? So like initially we will be verifying, okay, so whether the select all button is present or not. So in order to verify that, we will be derive one possible scenarios, and we need to verify the functionality. So we should not verify just the look and feel. So the functionality is here, like whenever the user click on select all button, so there should be a small pop-up window should be open. It should contain two options. So one is like on this page and across all the page. Okay, then we need to verify the behavior. So what happened when the user select on the page? What happened like when the user select across all the page? So which is nothing but we are going to verify the behavior. Okay, that is what I told. So we need to verify the functionality. We should not focus only on the UI validation. So we should also focus upon the functionality. Okay, so they have specified the functional behavior. So when user clicks on this page option, the selection will be resulting into selecting all the records on the particular page. Okay, so where the user is currently traversed to, and the icon on the select all button should be replaced with the checked checkbox icon beside the text on the particular page, and they have mentioned like something. So I will explain the first statement what they are trying to say. So the first statement is like, whenever the user, okay, select this on this page, okay, so whatever the page the user is on, for example, if the user is on page number 1 or page number 2 or page number t, so whenever, like, if the user select on this page, then all the checkboxes should be get selected. So which means like we will be having the 10 result and all the 10 results should be selected. So that is what they told. So the selection will be result into selecting of all record on the particular page where the user is currently traversed to. So whatever the page we are. So even if I'm traversing to the page number 10, if I click on this page option, so like all the checkboxes in the page number 10 should be get selected. So that is the first functional validation, and they have mentioned another behavior. Similarly, if a user has selected all the option on the certain page explicitly, on the page option should be get selected. Okay, so what they are trying to do, so explicit in the sense like we are going to select manually. So assume that like you are traversing to particular page and we are having 10 checkboxes and you are manually selecting the 10 checkboxes. So whenever we manually select the 10 checkboxes, it is satisfying the condition called as an on this page. So then by default in the particular page, the select all button should be replaced by the on this page. So that is what they are trying to say here. So like whenever the user select explicitly, so then all the checkboxes should be get selected. Okay, so that is what I'm trying to say. And they have specified another one point. When the user deselect the option on this page, all the checkboxes should be get deselected. So for example, if you just deselect this option on this page, then it should get unchecked automatically. So all the checkboxes should be unchecked. And they have also specified like one condition, if the user deselect even a single record page on the page explicitly, so on this page should be get deselected and corresponding icon should be reflected. So what they are trying to say, so initially like we have selected this on this page, then what happened, all the checkboxes will be get selected, but explicitly we are unchecking one checkbox. Okay, so I'm just unchecking this checkbox. So if I uncheck one certain checkbox, it is not satisfying the condition called as an on this page. So which means like it will display with the default value called as an select all. So that is what we need to verify. So we need to verify the all possible scenarios. So what are the all possible scenarios in the sense when we are doing the functional validation on this page, initially we need to verify whether the on this page option is present. If we select on this page, all the checkboxes should be selected. Okay, if I deselect this on this page, all the checkboxes should be deselected. And if I explicitly, that is nothing but if I manually select all the checkboxes, so the select all option should be replaced by on this page. If I explicitly uncheck any one of the checkbox, so then like again it is it should reset to the default value called as an select all. And even if I navigate to any other page, okay, so whenever I select this on this page, so whatever the checkbox which is available, it should get selected. And another condition we need to verify always is like, so by default they have specified like per page, like the grid will have only 10 records. Okay, so we should always verify is there is only 10 records present or not. If there is an 11 records, then it is an issue. So we should cover the negative scenarios as well. So we should include the positive scenario as well as negative scenario. In similar way, like we are going to verify the functionality of an across all the page. Okay, so like I will explain like what they're trying to say in this across all the page, and I will attach this requirement in the Jira board. So probably like you can download the requirement and you can go through line by line. So like how we validate the functional behavior of on this page. So now we are going to verify the functional behavior of across all the page. Okay, so when the user click on across all the page option, the selection will result in selecting all records across all the page irrespective of the page which user has landed in. So what they're trying to say, so irrespective of any page, even if I am in the page number 5 and if I select this option called as an across all the page. And if you have total of 100 pages, like in all 100 pages, so all checkboxes should be get selected. Okay, so that is what they're trying to say. So whenever like the user select across all the page, so the checkboxes should be auto selected across all the pages. Okay, so even if I do the same in the page number 10 or page number 1, so it should select all the checkboxes irrespective of all pages. And they have specified the icon on the select all button should be replaced with the checked checkboxes beside the text, which is nothing but it should be like provided with the checked checkbox. And they have mentioned one more thing. So like on this page is a subset of across all the page. And hence when the option is selected by default, okay, across all the page should be displayed. So what they're trying to say, so like this on this page is going to act as the subset of across all the page. So when everything is selected, when all the checkbox across all the pages selected, it will display across all the page. But assume that I am manually unchecking, okay, one checkboxes in one of the page. Then what happened? So in this particular page, okay, so it is not satisfying the condition on this page as well as it is not satisfying the condition across all the page. It will be reset to the default value called as an select all. But when I navigate to the other page, so where all the checkboxes are present and all the checkboxes are selected, which means it is satisfying the first condition on this page, which means the across all the page should be replaced with the on this page option. And in similar way, if the user manually travels to all the page and they select all the checkboxes in all the page, so it should satisfy the condition called as an across all the page, and across all the page should be like display in the all the screens. Okay, so that is what they have specified here. So here the functional validation is like, so whenever the user select across all the page, so we should ensure so whether the checkbox is selecting across all the page and the option should be changed to across all the page. So when we explicitly uncheck any one of the certain page, any one of the checkboxes in the certain page, so in a particular screen it should display the select all option, and whereas in other screen it is satisfying the first condition, so like it should display the option called as an on this page. And other thing is like, so whenever we explicitly select all the pages across all the pages, so whenever we explicitly select all the checkboxes across all the pages, so then it is satisfying the second condition, and again the select all button should be replaced with the across all the page option. Okay, and then we should verify the default thing. So default thing is like nothing but, so like whether the user able to sorry, so like we need to verify the default thing. So the default thing is nothing but, so they have specified the condition, so per page like we should have the 10 record. And also like they have verified one more, also they have mentioned one more default condition, which means like in each and every page like we will be having the search option as well as like we will be having the sort option. So whenever we sort, click on the sort by A to Z, we need to verify so whether it is sorting either to the A to Z or Z to the A. So based upon the sort option, so the behavior should act accordingly. Okay, so this is the solution proposed, and the developer is going to implement the same. So they are going to implement this behavior, and during the time, so while doing the test design, we won't have the application, and we should like draft something, and we should derive all possible scenarios. And if you have any clarification, so we should always reach out to the business analyst, because the business analyst is the person so who always derive the user story. Okay, so the first and key step is like, so whenever the respective sprint start, so whenever the developer focus upon the development activity, like as a QA, so we should focus upon the test design activity, so which is nothing but like we are going to derive the all possible scenarios. Okay, so like here in an agile, so we won't have the fixed requirement. So we can't say like we are actually doing the requirement analysis. So like we are just analyzing the user story. So which is nothing but how the requirement will be. As I told, it will be like kind of an epic wise. So which is nothing but it will be always in the feature wise. For a particular feature, like we will be having the multiple user story, and inside each and every user story, there will be an elaborative description as a QA. So like we need to understand the user story, and then we need to verify the and then we need to do the test design. Okay, so that is the primary key thing, so which we used to do. Okay, and either we can complete this epic in a single sprint, or we may do for a multiple sprint, so based upon the number of user story mapped under the epic. So if you have a lesser number of user story in this particular epic, so then what happen, like we can easily complete within a sprint. But if you have a multiple user story, then we may require a multiple sprint. So based upon the team size, okay, so the duration of the sprint will be getting increased. So if you have only like kind of an 2 QA, so then in order to complete the single epic, so we may run for 3 sprints. If we have many QAs, like assume that like we are having the 6 QAs in a team, then we can wind up the particular feature within a 2 or within a single sprint. Okay, so in a sprint, so whenever the sprint starts, so the first key thing is like you need to analyze the user story. And in tomorrow's session, like whatever the theoretical discussion which we have discussed so far from the day one to the till now, I'm going to relate each and everything with the Jira board, and post that like you will be having the better relativity. So how the user story will be look like, and how the epic will be look like. And I told so like we are going to store everything in a product backlog, so where the product log is going to uh, available in the Jira board, and how we are going to log the story points, and how they are going to start the sprint, and how we will get to know the plan. So when the particular epic will start, or how we will get to know so what is the start day of the sprint and what is the end date of the sprint. So and how they are going to run the scrum call. So everything like we are going to discuss in detail in the tomorrow session.